reward system. Which is okay lang po yan. Kasama yan sa operasyon. Pero bakit ang Pangulong Duterte tinatanong ang kanyang administrasyon nung panahon niya patungkol sa reward system? Di ba may katarantaduhan ang investigasyon nila?
Nakatanggap ng halos 2.3 million pesos na pabuya ang tipsters na nagbigay ng impormasyon para maaresto ang ilang individual.
Naku, parang ang tawag po dyan, reward system Parang Torres-style reward system yan Di ba yan po yung isang tinatanong sa Pangulong Duterte nung panahon ng Tuadcom hearing? Yung tinatawag nilang reward system. At ngayon, ito po sila. Nagbibigay po sila ng sarili nilang version ng reward system. Naku, mahirap po yan mga kareaksyon dahil para yatang meron silang sariling version ng reward system.
Na sangkot sa ilang krimen sa bansa. Ayon kay Philippine National Police Chief Police General Nicolas Torre III, nagpakita ng katapangan ang nasa 16 na tipsters para mahuli ang mga suspect na sangkot sa ilang kaso. Kabilang narito ang iligal na droga, murder, rape, theft, estapa.
Ayan po mga kareaksyon. Yan na po yung sinagot ng Pangulong Duterte noon. Nung ginigit-git siya patungkol sa reward system. At ngayon, itong si Torre, siya mismo ang nagbibigay ng reward system. Mga ka-reaction, di ba, nakatakip po yung mukha niyan. Nakatakip ang mukha, di ba? Malay natin kung pulis yan. Malay natin kung sibilyan yan. Pero dapat talaga magtakip ng mukha yan. Tipster nga yan Ayan, pakinggan po natin.
Arson, illegal possession of firearms at kidnapping. Sinabi ni Chief PNP na malaki ang tulong na nagawa ng mga ito para mahuli ang mga wanted persons.
Ngayon, meron po silang sariling reward system. Pero ang Pangulong Duterte, binanatan po siya dyan sa reward system. Ito po
On another topic, Mr. President, si Garma po ay nagkaroon po siya ng affidavit at sinabi po niya na meron pong double model na 3 levels of payments. Meron po siya sinasabi sa affidavit niya Ang sabi niya, yung first suspect is killed. Ang binabayad daw po ay 20,000 to 1 million. At sa second level naman po, ang sinasabi niya yung co-plan, yung pong planned na pinapan po yung planned operation. At yung third daw po ay yung pong refund ng operational expenses. Ito po ba sinasabi ni Colonel Garma na pag binabayad doon sa mga namamatay na 20,000 to 1 million, which by the way corroborated by the testimony of Tata and Andy, is true?
Correct.
So, ito po yung namamatay, binabayad po 20,000 to 1 million.
Hindi yan, sir. Ganito yan.
Hindi, yung po ang tanong ko, Mr. President.
Hindi, ganito nga.
Sige po.
Ito na yung answer ko
Sige po.
Yung may police operation, alam ng police lahat yan. Pinupunduhan ko yan. O ito, for a particular project. Pagka na-accomplish nila yan, sir, may sobra, magsabi ang police officer o lead official, sir, may sobra, hindi na ubos yun. Hindi na yan. For the boys. Yan, sir.
Okay,
yan,
sir.
Yan.
O, diba? Ngayon, mga ka-reaction, magtataka po tayo dito na itong administrasyong ito, nagbibigay po sila ng reward system. Pero nung panahon ng Pangulong Duterte, yan po isang kinwestiyon nila. Ito po, panoorin po natin ang mga video na ito Ito po yung katarantaduang anong tawag doon? Pinagbintangan ang Pangulong Duterte patungkol dyan sa reward system. Pero itong si Torre ngayon, hayagan, lantaran, at sinasa publiko pa yung pamimigay niya ng reward system. Which is okay lang po yan. Kasama yan sa operasyon. Pero bakit ang Pangulong Duterte tinatanong ang kanyang administrasyon nung panahon niya patungkol sa reward system. Di ba may katarantaduhan ang investigasyon nila? O ito ba, panoorin po natin ang mga video na ito ha, patungkol dyan sa katarantaduhang reward system na mapapaputang ina ka na lang talaga, di ba? Eto na po mga kareaksyon.
Mr. Chair, sa dating hearings ng Quad Committee, retired Police Colonel Edelberto Leonardo confirmed na merong reward scheme for police personnel under the drug war of former President Rodrigo Duterte. At meron din pong isang interview mismo sa dating Pangulo na kaya gusto niya ay INC, yung merong key roles sa drug war, ay dahil nga kapag INC daw, mapagkakatiwalaan sa pera. So gusto po nating ma-confirm, given the presence of the former President, kung totoo yun, na INC yung mapagkakatiwalaan sa pera para dun sa reward system.
The reward system, ganito yan. Lahat ng governors pati mayors ginagawa yan. If there is an operation which is not funded by the police because there is really no money, particular money for every crime committed at yung for the operation, lalo na out of town, you have to provide. If it says Davao City, outside of the province, Cotabato, prosecutor kasi ako, so I will begin to count kung magkano. Sabi sir, sa South Cotabato, gaano kalayo yan? Anong gamitin ninyo? May gasolina, pagkain. So, ang pagkaanguri ko, pagkain. Bigyan ko yan sila ng, okay, I'll give you 20,000. Tapos, magamit nila yan, gamitin nyo yan. Pag may sobra niyan, magsabi sila, sir, hindi na ubos. Kasi nahuli ka agad. Kasi marami. Hindi mo masuloy, hindi mo mabulsa yan. Kasi marami kayo dyan sa team na police, nag-ooperate. Sasabihin mo talaga yan pagbalik, sir, may sobra dito, sir. O, ilan? Sir, kalahati. Sabi ko, inyo na yan.
Mr. Chair,
Reward. Correct. Very correct. Talagang totoo. At minsan, bigyan ko pa dagdag.
so Mr. Chair, dahil ngayong kinakonfirm na rin naman ng dating Pangulo na merong reward system at sabi po niya hindi lang pala siya yung gumagawa niyan. Meron ding iba na gumagawa niyan in relation dun sa anti-drug campaign. Mr. Chair, I'd like to delve into specific persons na napangalanan na rin dati sa Quad Committee. Nabanggit din ng dating Pangulo sa Senado, merong pong alias smoking na tagabigay ng pera sa mga pulis para sa drug war operations. Ito pong si Muking ay bahagi po dati ng Presidential Management Staff. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Yes. An employee of the management staff.
Mr. Chair, bakit kinakailangan na isang taga-presidential management staff ang tagabigay ng pera? Saan po ba nanggagaling yung pera na siyang ginagamit para dun sa reward
The
system?
Peace and Order Fund of the government. Huwag mo namang sabihin na ako pa ang magbigay doon sa mga pulis. Do not expect me to go down from the office at sabihin ko mag-distribute ako.
Mr. Chair, yung Peace and Order Fund, saan po yun specifically nakalagak? Galing po ba yun sa pondo ng Office of the President?
Lahat ng opisina, sir, from the President down to the Governor, Mayors, may Peace and Order Fund. Discretionary yan. Ng Mayor, ng Governor, ng Presidente.
Mr. Chair, yung Peace and Order Fund sa mga local government units natin, yun po ay kinukuha mula dun sa confidential fund. So kung sa Office of the President, lalo na't meron ding allocation for confidential and intelligence fund, dun din po ba kinukuha yung peace and order fund para dun sa reward system?
I will not answer your question. I do have to make an accounting of what I did as president. That's official and personal to me.
Mr. Chair, bahagi ito ng ating gustong siyasatin dito sa Quad Committee kasi kanina din naman po ang banggit lahat ng mga nagpapatupad ng ganitong operations, yun yung source, Peace and Order Fund. Pero kailangan malinaw din saan talagang item, anong allocation po yun. So kung sa mga LGU, malinaw naman, confidential fund. Pero sa Office of the President, dahil po actually ay iilan lang naman yung mga line items doon. At kung meron dyan na pinaka-swak para dun sa peace and order, yun po ay confidential and intelligence fund. So gusto po nating ma-confirm lang, dahil po nalaman natin meron talagang reward system at merong pinanggagalingan yung pondo para dun sa reward system.
Sir, sandali. Medyo papahingahin mo lang ako ng...
1 minute suspension.
Kaya tinawag yan, sir, ng intelligence pati confidential. Kaya huwag kang magtanong kung anong confidential ginawa ko. Confidential nga eh. I am protecting the interest of the Republic when I dispense confidential fund to the military and the police. Do not make me account for something which I cannot do legally. That is not allowed by law. I am prohibited from doing it.
Mr. Chair, I believe hindi tayo pwedeng sabihan dito sa committee na hindi tayo pwedeng magtanong lalo sa mga bagay na relevant dun sa ating investigations. And Mr. Chair, I was not even asking kung sino yung mga hanggang sa level ng mga regional police units, sino-sino mga nakatanggap. I was simply asking yung nature ng paggamit ng pondo na iyon. And Mr. Chair, there's nothing in the joint circular on confidential and intelligence funds that says that we cannot ask general questions, Mr. Chair. Kaya kung ayaw po tayong sagutin dun sa ganong mga bagay, then I think that's actually an indirect admission na dun talaga nanggagaling at ayaw lang pong specify ng ating resource person yung nitty-gritty. Pero yun na po yung nagtutugma yung Peace and Order Fund na pwede talagang kunin doon sa Confidential and Intelligence Fund na actually ay lumobo ng sobrang taas sa ilalim po ng term ng past administration. So actually po, we gave our resource person a chance to answer pero nagdi-deviate po mula doon sa paano talaga sana sagutin ng diretso kasi simple lang naman po yung tanong kung doon ba kinukuha.
Okay, let me answer you. Chance to answer. You are asking as if you are from the COA. Hindi ka naman COA. Hindi kita sagutin ng tama kasi wala rin akong alam. COA, kailangan mo ng report. So you have to bring the papers. You're asking questions that are pertaining to COA. Ano? Hindi naman ako COA. Mayor ako tapos presidente. Ano ka man?
Sige, Mr. Chair, I won't belabor the point pero tingin ko ang mga kababayan natin yung makakahusga. Malinaw naman po na wala po sa aming dalawa yung taga-COA pero mismo po nasa memorandum circular din naman na dapat ay ipatupad ng COA na dapat ay kung mayroong mga ahensyang nabibigyan, nag-grant ng confidential and intelligence fund, dapat po hindi nga yan in the first place nakatago mula sa mga kababayan kasi the fact na nakatago po yan, ito po yung nangyari. Nagamit po ang pondo na yan para dun sa mga extrajudicial killings. na kumitil ang buhay ng mga kapwa nating kabataan, magiging yung tens of thousands ng mga pamilya na actually ay hanggang ngayon nagdurusa at walang hustisya.
Another topic, Mr. President. Si Garma po ay nagkaroon po siya ng affidavit at sinabi po niya na meron pong double model na 3 levels of payments. Meron po siya sinasabi sa affidavit niya eh. Ang sabi niya, yung first suspect is killed. Ang binabayad daw po ay 20,000 to 1 million. At sa second level naman po, ang sinasabi niya yung co-plan, yung pong planned na pinaplan po yung planned operation. At yung third daw po ay yung pong refund ng operational expenses. Ito po ba sinasabi ni Colonel Garma na pag binabayad doon sa mga namamatay na 20,000 to 1 million, which by the way corroborated by the testimony of Tata and Andy, is true?
Correct.
So ito po yung namamatay, binabayad po 20,000 to 1 million.
Hindi yan, sir. Ganito yan.
Hindi, yung po ang tanong ko, Mr. President.
Hindi, ganito nga.
Sige po.
Ito na yung answer ko eh.
Sige po.
Yung may police operation, alam ng police lahat yan, pinupunduhan ko yan. O ito, for a particular project. Pagka na-accomplish nila yan, sir, may sobra, magsabi ang police officer o lead officer, sir, may sobra, hindi na ubos yun. Hindi na yan. For the boys. Yan, sir.
Okay,
yan,
sir.
Yan,
Mr. President, in some interviews you have mentioned that, and you have spoken about the reward system. And sinabi nyo, patay o buhay? Patay, better. Buhay, okay lang.
Correct.
Yes, so ibig po sabihin ay mas okay sa inyo kapag patay.
Mas maganda kung patay, sir.
And that's the reason why we are trying to encourage our citizens to kill all those addicts.
No, not addicts. To kill the criminals. Not addicts, because addicts are victims of the criminals running the drug syndicates. Mali yan, sir. Mali
Mr.
yan.
Mr.
Mali
President,
yan,
kasi there is a report na nagsalita po kayo noong July 1, 2016 that was covered by The Guardian. At sinabi niyo po dito, if you know of any addicts, go ahead and kill them yourself, as getting their parents to do it would be too painful.
I am talking of the drug manufacturers and drug dealers. That is a...
So mali po
I
to.
don't know who wrote it. I am not bound by it. Huwag mong iano yan, sir. Hindi ko trabaho yan. Get it from my mouth. Because I was the man.
Ano po to, Mr. President? Live, ano po to, interview po? Ano po to,
Talagang
video?
sinabi ko, pero hindi tama yan.
Nasa video po, Mr. President.
Sinabi hindi addict, sabi ko drug dealers and drug pusher. Bakit mo patayin yung addict? Dali mo sa ospital. It's common sense.
Ang polisiya po ng ating pong gobyerno, ng gobyerno nyo, yung pong neutralization, illegal drug personalities nationwide, kailangan po siyang ma-neutralize. And as a matter of fact, ito po ay issued ng Memorandum Circular number 16-2016. And according to General Gamboa, when I heard it in the Senate, sabi niya confidential po to. At nakakaalam lamang po ay yung mga commander. As a matter of fact, yung po sinabi niyo, commander, yung mga chief of PNP ng DDS. Bakit po siya naging confidential, Mr. President?
Again, sir, what's the question?
Bakit po kaya naging confidential yung pong utos na negation and neutralization of all those personalities sa illegal drugs?
Standard yan, sir. That is standard. Hindi naman minano ng pulis yan. There is a directive. It is confidential. And if there is a list, it cannot be made public. Not even shown to anybody, pati sa yung mga...
Kasi Mr. President, kung negation and neutralization, alam naman po natin, according nga kay Chairman Abante during our discussion, na ang meaning po ng negation ay patayin, neutralize, patayin. So, is there really an intent to hide this and make it confidential in order the lower ranks ng ating
No,
kapulisan na hindi po malaman
Wala
yung
akong-
inyong kautusan?
I will admit na ang order ko yung mga drug manufacturers, pati yung mga big time drug distribution, patayin. Hindi ko, I will not deny it. At kung ako, mabalik ako pagka mayor, tublahin ko yun.
And I want to make it clear, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, that nung panahon po ng ating pong Pangulong, dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte, meron po tayong 210,000 na mga kapulisan. And during that time, kung titignan mo yung mathematical computation, if ever na nagkaroon po tayo ng 20,000 na killed during that time, ay kung magkakaroon po tayo ng ratio na 1:1, ay sasabihin po natin that majority of the members of the PNP ay hindi naman po na-involved dito po sa war on drugs. Would you agree with me with that, Mr. President?
Yes, sir. Mayroon kasi yung mga drug enforcement units lang siguro.
Sila lang po yung na-involved.
Not all policemen, any police department of a city or a province are dedicated to the drug operations. Meron talaga yung unit, sir, hindi lahat. There's the anti-smuggling, anti-narcotics, ganon, may especially
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Chairman, meron kayong nabanggit sa Guardian. Sa Guardian, noong pong July 1, 2016. At sinabi po ninyo dito, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, during the campaign, you said 100,000 people would die in his crackdown. With so many dead bodies dumped in Manila Bay, that fish there would grow fat from feeding on them. And out of that 100,000 that you have mentioned, ang reported lamang po na namatay is ay almost 20,000 to 30,000. So, were you disappointed on this, Mr.
kulang.
Kulang? Were you disappointed that it's only 20,000 to 30,000?
Sir, kung pabalikin mo ako sana pagka-presidente, I will make up for the yung kulang na ano.
Kawawa naman po yung mga pamilya, Mr. Mr. President. Actually, marami po mga napatay na hindi po nabibigyan ng hustisya, and I think this is not a laughing matter, Mr. Chairman.
This is my message, sir.
Yes.
Pagka pumasok ka sa droga, pumasok sa krimen, iyo yan.
But
iyo yan.
yes, but Mr. President, you manifested. Yes.
And they heard me say that do not do it because I will kill you.
Yeah, but you manifested a while.
Narinig
Yes,
nila
Mr.
yan, sir.
I understand po. You manifested a while ago that those that were killed during the war on drugs were not all addicts and high value targets.
Yan ang
Kaya hindi po nagmamatch yung
that would be a matter of mathematical ano, sir. Hindi lahat talaga tama ka.
okay.
It could not be na lahat durugista or even connected with drugs.
And because of this pronouncement, Mr. President, because you have mentioned of the reward system, doon po sa nabasa ko sa news, and if I may, police were outsourcing extrajudicial killings to the same vigilante gang they accused of murder. Officials of the PNP, andyan po kung mababasa po ninyo, coordinated with vigilantes, selected targets to credit for murders, and on occasion paid for assassinations in the name of the war against drugs. So in other words, Mr. Chairman, because of this war on drugs na pronouncement po ninyo, yung pong anti-drug vigilante group existed because of this tinatawag po nating outsourcing ng mga pulis. Like what happened, Mr. President, nung kami po ay nag-imbestiga dito na si Colonel Santi, who testified under oath and made an affidavit na sinasabi po niya na nag-hire po sila ng killer para po kay General Barayuga. At binayaran po nila ng 300,000 pesos. Will you agree with me, Mr. President, that General Barayuga was a victim of extrajudicial killing?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not. Wala, wala talaga akong maisabi dyan. Hindi ko alam ano sinasabi mo.
This happened, Mr. President, during your time.
Yeah.
But you don't know what happened to General Barayuga?
Wala akong
Mr. Chairman, kasi po, panahon po ninyo to, nung mamatay si General Barayuga, and it saddened us kung hindi po natin alam kung ano po nangyari doon sa kaso yun.
Yan ang problema eh. Gusto ko rin malaman kasi it was during my time. I am as much interested as you.
Kasi Mr. President, General po to.
Pero yung utos ko,
Apo.
inaamin ko,
Na ano po?
walang problema yan.
Hindi nyo po ba inimbestigahan itong tungkol kay General Barayuga?
Wala akong nakialam dyan, sir.
Kindly wrap up.
Kasi po, Mr. Yes, Mr.
That is a personal, maybe, I do not.
Kasi po si
Wala akong na magpatay ng general.
Kasi po, ito pong si Colonel Hector Grijaldo na siya pong nag-aakusa sa amin that kami daw po ay pinuwersa namin siya, kinuors namin siya, hinaras po namin siya. Siya po ang Chief of Police ng Mandaluyong when this murder of General Grijaldo happened. General Barayuga happened. And that's the reason why we are asking about kung nalaman po ninyo itong kasong to, Mr.
Wala, sir. Sino yan, sir? Sinong suspect?
Well, according po kay Colonel Santi, ang suspect po ay si Colonel Leonardo at si Colonel Garma. He mentioned in the affidavit that Colonel Leonardo called him. Kaya nga po, tinatanong po namin sa inyo kung nalalaman po niyo yung kaso niyo.
I do not know. There should be cases by now. There should be a case filed by now. Kung ganon, lalo na general. So, anong ginagawa ng police pati military dyan? There should be more
On September 12, 2024 and September 27, 2024, I was invited to serve as a resource person during the recent legislative inquiry conducted by the Joint Committee on Drugs.
Ma'am, can you put the mic a little bit closer to your mouth, please?
Yes, sir. During these hearings, I was asked several questions concerning my knowledge or involvement in the deaths of 3 Chinese inmates at the Davao Penal Colony and the death of General Wesley Barayuga, all focusing on the alleged extrajudicial killings of the aforementioned individuals. I was also questioned about my relationship with the former president, as well as my career as a police officer and my tenure as the GM of the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office. Throughout the hearings, I answered questions from the committee based on my personal knowledge. However, I did so with great apprehension as I recognized that my statements on national television could significantly endanger my life, the safety of my family, and others close to me. After considerable reflection, I am now executing this affidavit to provide a comprehensive information to the Quadcom regarding everything I personally know about the war on drugs during the former administration. On May of 2016, I received a call from the then President Rodrigo Duterte at approximately 5 in the morning, instructing me to meet him at his residence in Doña Luisa, Davao City. I was already acquainted with then Mayor Duterte, having served as a station commander in one of the police stations in Davao during his tenure. During our meeting, he requested that I locate a PNP officer or operative who is a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo, indicating that he needed someone capable of implementing the war on drugs on a national scale, replicating the Davao model. The Davao model referred to the system involving payment and rewards. The Davao model involves 3 levels of payments of rewards. The first is the reward if the suspect is killed. Second is the funding of planned operations. Third is the refund of operational expenses. Initially, I informed the President that I was unaware of any individual with those qualifications, as I had not been assigned outside of Davao, nor had I served in a national capacity with the PNP. However, I recalled my upperclassman, Edilberto Leonardo, who was handling the Criminal Investigation Detection Group and was also a member of the Iglesia ni Cristo. I mentioned his name to the President. On the same day, a certain individual named Muking contacted me by the phone to request Leonardo's contact details, which I promptly provided. A week later, I learned from Arthur Narsolis via phone call that Leonardo had been summoned and was instructed to proceed to Royal Mandaya Hotel for a meeting. Leonardo informed me that he stayed at the hotel for 3 days, during which the President directed him to organize a task force similar to PAOK-TF. When Leonardo relayed this information and urged me to join the task force, I declined, citing my lack of experience in handling such operations. Leonardo subsequently informed me that he had prepared a proposal routed through Bongo outlining the task force operations, which would encompass Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. He also inquired if he and his classmates could have a courtesy call with the President through Bongo for a photo opportunity. Considering this, I thought it would be prudent also to invite my classmates, Bakay, Vilela, Grijaldo, Tuzon, and Dueñas, to join the courtesy call. The members of Class 97 and Class 96 of PNPA were accommodated in a separate room at the TPWH office in Panacan, Davao. The President did not enter our room, and I was unaware if he visited the room of Class 96. This is 96, sir, not 97. After the courtesy call, Leonardo informed me that the structure of the intended task force would undergo changes. In June of 2016, Leonardo was transferred from Manila to assume the position of the chief of the CIDG in Region 11. During the initial 3 months of this assignment, I facilitated all meetings between Leonardo and Bongo at Leonardo's request. Subsequently, they established direct communications. Leonardo informed me that he had recalled several trusted personnel, namely, I met Lester Berganyo, Romel Bactat, Rodel Serbo, Michael Palma, and Peter Parungo to serve as operatives for the task force. Notably, Romel Bactat, Rodel Serbo, and Michael Palma were all discharged as police officers. Romel Bactat and Romel Serbo, Michael Palma were all former police officers stationed at CIDG 11 office. They were discharged from service on or about a year ago due to an operation that led to the killing of one individual. Lester Berganyo is a private citizen, while Peter Parungo was a former detainee in CIDG due to a charge of rape that has been cleared. Romel Bactat Rodel Serbo, Michael Palma, and Peter Parungo were charged with the task force of collecting, verifying informations provided by police officers in the field concerning arrests or deaths of individuals named in the list of drug personalities, and creating a summary report. All of these reports would then be encoded, compiled by Lester Berganyo. The compilation is thereafter elevated to Leonardo, who will then decide what level the arrest or killing was and its corresponding reward. Rewards were only given for killings, while for arrests, only the funding of the Coplan and a refund for the expenses was given. I saw how this individual operated when I would visit the CIDG office in Region 11 to see my friend Lot Lot. He also conveyed to me that the task force would be structured differently, in that he submitted a document to Bongo detailing the task force operation, including an overview of the current drug landscape in the Philippines. I was also informed that the drug structure originated from Bucor, where numerous drug lords are currently incarcerated, and that it has 3 branches, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, with Peter Lim involved in the Visayas region. Once the task force became operational, I later learned that all Coplan funds, refunds for operational expenses, and rewards for agents were processed through the bank accounts of Peter Parungo at Metrobank, BDO, and PS Bank. Concurrently, Lester Berganyo maintained a comprehensive list of the drug personalities in the Philippines. Leonardo conducted briefings for all PDEA, IG, regional directors, and PNP chiefs regarding the operations. Additionally, if any individual died during police operation, Leonardo would report the incident to Bongo for inclusion in his weekly report and request for refunds of operational expenses. Leonardo had the final authority to determine who would be included on the list of drug personalities and to classify their threat levels, as well as the discretion to remove individuals from the list. Furthermore, in 2016, while I was at the CIDG office, following up on personnel appointments, I overheard Superintendent Padilla of Bucor discussing drug activities at the Davao Penal Colony with Leonardo. Padilla specifically mentioned certain Bucor officers involved in the drug trade, notably mentioning an officer named Ginto, who was subsequently killed along with other Bucor members. These are the critical facts I personally know regarding the drug war of the previous administration. I am prepared to provide additional details and information in the supplemental affidavit or during an executive session at the discretion of the committee. I affirm the truthfulness and accuracy of the above statement to assist in the investigation by the Joint Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Public Order and Safety, Human Rights, and Public Accounts of the Honorable House of Representatives, the Quadcom. Mr. Chair.
Tapos na po kayo, ma'am?
Yes,
Garma.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, sa affidavit ni Colonel Garma, binanggit niya na siya ay dating pinatawag ni former President Rodrigo Duterte. Nung pinatawag siya, ibinahagi ba yung plano na i-implement nationwide yung war on drugs? Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, nung mayor si former President Rodrigo Duterte sa Davao, implemented na doon ang war on drugs based sa kung paano natin siya ngayon napoperceive. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr. Chair, at least ngayon, buti po ay na-admit iyon ni Colonel Garma dahil nung nakaraang mga pagtanong po natin ay hindi pa agad din yon na napuput on record dito sa komite. At least po ngayon ay alam na po natin talaga once and for all. Mr. Chair, nung station commander si Colonel Garma, nung panahon ni former President Rodrigo Duterte as mayor, ibig sabihin po ba nun ay, given her role, isa po siya sa mga nag-implement ng war on drugs sa Davao. Tama po ba iyon, Mr. Chair?
No?
Paki-clarify mo lang yung question.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, ang tanong ko po dahil naging station commander po si Colonel Garma noong Davao Mayor si Rodrigo Duterte. So ibig sabihin po nun, given her role ay isa po siya sa mga nag-implement ng war on drugs sa Davao.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, nag-implement po siya nun dahil kasama po siya dun sa mga na-mention kanina from NUPL, yung Davao Boys and Girls. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, can I explain my answer, Mr. Chair, so that maintindihan po ni Congressman?
Sige.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Pakilapit lang po yung microphone
Yes,
sa inyong bibig.
This is how it works actually. Pag mag-conduct po ng police operation, kasi po ang police, if the operation po is successful and you file the case in court, you will submit a report sa City Hall monthly at nakalagay po doon na na-file po yung kaso, nakalagay din po yung IS number po, proof na na-file po yung kaso and the details of the case. And once isubmit mo to, yung operational expenses po ay nare-refund. That's 5,000 pesos per case po, per operation. Ngayon po, kung malaki po yung operation mo at kailangan mo ng operational fund, gagawa ka ng COPLAN, you will also request po sa City Hall for the funding of the operation plan. Now, in case din po na nagkaroon po ng operation and subsequently po nagkaroon po ng death on the part of the suspects po during a legitimate operation, meron din pong corresponding amount po na binibigay, Mr. Chair. So that is how it works po.
So, Mr. Chair, ibig sabihin ay totoo ngang merong Davao Boys and Girls na nagpatupad ng war on drugs. To confirm, Mr. Chair, tama po. Na yun yung mode of operations as described. Tama po ba? Yun yung kinakonduct, yun yung ginagawa nitong Davao Boys and Girls.
Ganun po yung sistema po ng how you will refund yung operational expenses. Kung ano po yung tawag nila at ano po yung ipinangalan ay for me it's not relevant as long as yung process on how the funds are being provided po, yun po yung ine-explain ko lang po. If that is how po ang pag-perceive, that's how it is politically described po, then that's it po.
Okay, Mr. Chair, dun sa reward system, kasi nasa affidavit din po, na nire-refund ang operational expenses, tapos may funding din para sa planned operations, ito yung co-plan, tapos may reward din kapag napatay yung suspect. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, may nakuha po kasi tayong impormasyon, although nung mga nakaraan ay parang haka-haka lang siya, pero ngayon na nag-hold tayo ng investigations ay nakakakuha po tayo ng mga sources na pagdating po dun sa reward system ay kapag ang napatay ay isang pusher, yun yung tinatawag na level 1, tapos 50,000 ang reward. Mako-confirm po ba yun ni Colonel Garma, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, I am not so familiar po sa specific amounts, but true, there is a amount po per level. I think Colonel Leonardo can explain po kung ano yung specific amount. Kapag baka magkamali po akong sasabihin na 50 nga o 100 o 1 million yun. But there is a corresponding amount per level, Mr. Chair.
Sige. Mr. Chair, sa information na nakuha natin ay merong 4 na levels. Yung level 1 ay 50K para sa pusher. Kung napatay ay pusher. Kung big time pusher naman ay yun yung level 2, 100K. Tapos kung narco-cops, narco-politicians, or protectors ay 300 to 500K. Tapos kapag trader, manufacturer, chemist, yung mga ninja cops, or mga financiers, yun yung level 4, 1 million yung reward kapag napatay sila. Familiar po ba iyon kay Colonel Garma? Yung ganong leveling and amounts?
May amount po, Mr. Chair, from what I understand, starting 20,000 to 1 million. But I'm not familiar sa mga bracketing po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, yung 20K, yun po yung mga street level or mga small time na natatag na involved sa drug trade. Tama po ba?
Most likely kasi yun po yung pinakamaliit na amount as far as that's I know, Mr. Chair.
And to compare, Mr. Chair, yung mga napatay dun sa Davao Penal Colony ay dahil ang kanilang task di umano doon sa drug trade ay yung pagiging mga chemist. Kaya kapag ganun, level 4 sila. Kaya naging 1 million per head yung presyo, kumbaga, or yung reward para sa pagpatay sa kanila. Tas dahil 3 sila, kaya 3 million. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Hindi ko po alam, Mr. Chair, hindi ko nakita kung magkano kung talagang mayroon pong na-classify sila kung anong level. Ay, hindi ko po nakita kasi.
Pero you can confirm na yung pinakamataas ay 1 million.
As far as I know, Mr. Chair.
Kaya, Mr. Chair, doon sa pag-i-implement ng war on drugs on a national level, doon sa pakikipag-usap ni Colonel Garma kay former President Rodrigo Duterte, sinabi ba niya na meron siyang layunin na yung Davao model ay i-implement sa buong bansa? May ganun po ba, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And Mr. Chair, doon sa ganitong plano ay on loop po doon ang incumbent senator na si Bongo. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, I didn't get the question. Kindly repeat po, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, doon sa plano na itong Davao model ay implement siya sa buong bansa, based sa naging affidavit, gusto nating ma-confirm na mayroong papel din dito si Senator Bongo. Tama po ba?
Sa aking understanding, it would appear, Mr. Chair, kasi po siya ang minimit ni Sir Leonardo.
Mr. Chair, kapag may napatay na suspect doon sa drug trade, kanino unang nire-report yung mga instances na merong napatay?
Sa ground kasi may gagawa ka ng report, Mr. Chair, spot report. And then, meron pong phone number na na-disseminate sa lahat po ng RD, PD, Chief of Police, kung saan po tinetext po yung result ng police operation. And these phone numbers are handled, hinahawakan po nung mga tao po ni Sir Leonardo.
Mr. Chair, since naging bahagi po si Colonel Garma ng War on Drugs sa Davao, familiar po ba siya or alam po ba niya kung meron ding kompetisyon sa iba't ibang mga police stations sa number ng mga napatay? Lalo na't kung meron palang reward na napatay yung isang tao as compared to inaresto lang. So meron bang ganong tipo ng kompetisyon among police stations?
Wala po, Mr. Chair, during our time.
Mr. Chair, pagdating naman sa kung paano na-incentivize yung mga iba't ibang police stations or police officers, ano po yung mga pamantayan dati para masabi na ang isang police station ay effective sa pag-conduct niya ng war on drugs?
Meron kasing, sa amin nung sa Davao kasi po, it depends po kasi sa station na hinahawakan mo kasi naka-profile na po yan kung anong classification po ng drugs, kung infested po ba ng drugs yung mga barangay. So meron na pong projection po. Kasi meron po kami noong tinatawag na yung may baseline po kasi kami na naka-establish during that time. So projected po kung ilan ang possible arrest mo every month, Mr. Chair. But of course, dumarating din po yung point na wala ka na mahuli o sobrang baba. Depende kasi sa performance din ng patrol sa area as part of preventing po yung occurrence po ng illegal drug trade. So mamimili ka lang naman mag-ooperate ka o intensify mo ang police patrol para wala kang mahuli at hindi po matuloy mangyari ang bentahan po ng droga. You just choose between the two naman po.
Kaya, Mr. Chair, yun yung tungkol sa reward system kapag may napatay na mga suspect. Kahit nga, we would like to underscore na mga suspect pa lang yun. Mr. Chair, pagdating dun sa funding ng mga planned operations, sino po ang nagfa-fund ng mga ganong operasyon, yung tinatawag na co-plan, batay dun sa affidavit?
What I understand pong alam ko po, pag malalaking police operation, the case operation plan ay sinasubmit po kay Sir Leonardo for funding. And I think si Sir Leonardo po maka-explain kung saan po galing ang pondo, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, sa pagkakaalam ni Colonel Garma, meron bang mga private individuals or corporations na nagbibigay din ng, kumbaga, we can say, donation para sa ganitong mga planned operations?
I'm not aware, Mr. Chair. Wala akong alam po.
Mr. Chair, pare-pareho ba yung amount na binibigay para dun sa kada operation na kinoconduct?
Hindi ko rin po alam, Mr. Chair, kaya hindi ako ang nag-evaluate ng mga co-plan. Basta ang alam ko lang, sinasubmit po sa kanya and siya po ang magpapacilitate for the funding, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and Mr. Chair, dun sa pangatlong tipo ng itong paggamit ng pera for these plans, yung refund for operational expenses, ano-ano pong mga tipo ng expenses ito? Kasi kung nire-refund siya, ibig sabihin, meron munang nag-aabono. Ganun po ba ang sistema sa pag-conduct ng mga operations? Nag-aabono muna yung mga involved na mga police, tapos saka sila manghihingi ng refund?
I will explain further, Mr. Chair. Yung real McCoy kasi sa ground, Mr. Chair. The real talk po tayo sa ground. Talaga namang wala pong pondo talaga. mag-aabono ka talaga. Pati bypass money, mag-aabono ang chief of police diyan para mamarkahin yan. Kung minsan nasusunog na itatakbo, wala na. Tapos wala kang mahuli, hindi mo talaga marerefund yung pera mo. So talagang abonado ang chief of police at saka mga operatiba. That is why in Davao, once successful po ang police operation na file mo ang kaso, may IS number po, proof that you filed the case, i-refund po ng 5,000 pesos yung mga expenses like photocopy, bypass money, payment for the agent, pagkain po ng suspect pag dinala mo po sa court, kasi maghihintay ka rin, tatagal ka rin sa korte. So those are the expenses which is very decent enough naman, just enough para lang maibalik at ma-refund po yung mga personal expenses na nagastos po ng chief of police o ng mga operatiba during police operation, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, dun sa mga nagpapa-refund for operational expenses, saan o kanino kinukuha yung mga pang-refund na mga amounts?
Are we referring to the national scope, Mr. Chair? My question lang, or Davao?
Sa Davao,
Davao
Mr. Chair.
noon, we have to submit the after activity report sa City Hall po. And then may pipirmahan kang voucher na ma-refund yung lahat ng expenses.
How about nung naging national na or nationwide na yung scale ng implementation ng war on drugs? Kanino din kinukuha yung refund?
Lahat po ay kay Colonel Leonardo, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so far Mr. Chair, mas yun muna yung aking mga tanong. Pero so far, based sa mga narinig natin hanggang ngayon, Mr. Chair, inaabsorb ko pa rin talaga dahil hindi usual na marinig natin na merong nagko-confirm na meron talagang reward system, yung mga amounts ranging from yung small time pala na mga kahit inosente 20K yung presyo para sa kanila, tapos yung mga big time kumbaga tig 1 milyon bawat ulo. And from Davao ay naging massive ito hanggang sa buong bansa. Kaya naman pala ganado yung mga sangkot na mga pulis na kapag neutralization talaga ang layunin ay pumatay dahil pala ganun kalaki yung reward na kanila makukuha, Mr. Chair. So yun muna sa ngayon. Maraming salamat.
Okay, salamat Congressman Manuel.